Hello, Salzgard here with another episode of Bastion. On the last episode, we went and collected a Calamity Cannon, and I kind of messed up the recording, so some things didn't get recorded, nothing too important. The next area is the point of no return, so I'm going to try and finish up some stuff around here. I'm not able to unlock all of the idols until New Game Plus from what I'm reading. And the next achievement below that is for 5 idols. So instead of having some of these really annoying idols, since the achievement only requires 5, I'll choose the 5 ones that are kind of easier. Regeneration's kind of annoying, I hate this deflection, and the resilience to physical harm is kind of annoying as well. I did this first one, the Kid's Dream, a while ago, because I just stumbled upon it, but I'm going to redo it for the achievement.
Kid takes another drag, goes out like a light.
This should help with the upgrades as well, since I should get a lot of shards.
There's something you should know about the kid, but let me take it from the top. Up with the kid. Hardly had a moment's rest since all this started.
It's definitely a lot more hectic. Ow. That galleon mortar is pretty good for those guys. It's a lot better than the ones I had before.
He never knew his old man, but he had his mama to take care of. Frail thing with pure white hair like his.
I'm not sure how many times you have to do these to get the full story. I'm assuming at least a few times.
Having his mama's hair did the kid no favors while he was growing up, but he learned to hold his own out there. School ain't working out, so the kid signs up for a turn on the rippling walls. Make his mama some money. Thanks to folks like the kid, the walls kept Ceylondia safe from whatever's out there. The elements, the Ura, you name it.
He just yeeted himself off.
Once the kid done his time, he hurried on home. Turns out his mama's time was done too. The city had nothing for him. The money he'd been sending home was nowhere to be found either. So what'd the kid do? Why, he went right on back to the walls for another 5 years.
It's nice that this gives a bit more context to the story that was told the first time. Because the original, or the first run through, tells you that he went back to the wall, but it doesn't explain why he was there.
In the history
Or why
of
he went back.
Caelondia, nobody's ever volunteered for a second shift on the walls.
I don't think it did. It might have, and I just don't remember.
Out there, Kid learned to fend for himself. Learn to build. Learn to break. In time, the kid earned good standing with the marshals. They trusted him to scout out farther than anybody.
Oh, that's where it is.
One night, on one of his expeditions, the ground beneath him shuddered, cracked, and split apart. He saw nothing where the world used to be. The calamity happened just like that.
Ow.
All the kid had to work with was his hammer and the clothes on his back.
Why did they just keep on yeeting themselves off the edge?
Through twisted
That made
streets,
no sense.
he ran with nothing but the city crest and an old stranger's voice to guide him. Well, he finally arrived at Caelondia's vaunted safe haven. He and no one else. But then, all he got was more thankless work from a man who ain't even asked his name. Sure, I may be the one who dreamt up the walls and the Bastion, but the kid made them real, not me. I'd like to say I'll never forget him, or what he's doing, what he's done. I surely would.
That was really easy. Okay, so that's another memorial down.
Faith. Mother, this one's for you. The skippers delivered us from the motherland.
Okay, so that means I have a lot more stuff to upgrade my weapons.
Wouldn't want to be at the
Damage,
receiving end of those. The
crit
Armada sure could
chance,
have used one of these back in the day.
probably immunity to bomb damage so I don't blow
It's
myself up.
fairy dust, and it's all set.
Okay, so now we're going to go to the bedroll.
It's hard to sleep easy these days, what with everything that's happened. Zolf, very soon the kid's gonna have to face that man again, for the last time.
Ow.
They met on the worst day of Zolf's life. There in the Hanging Gardens, he aimed to throw it all away. It wasn't the first time Zolf had nothing to lose. He was born to a simple Ura couple who didn't last long before plague took him. He grew up hungry in the tunnels of the Tazzle terminals, so he took to stealing from a Ceylonian missionary living there.
I should have replaced my my secret skill with something better.
He once got sloppy with his thieving hands. The missionary caught him, but didn't rat him out. Instead, he offered to take him in. That missionary raised Zolf like a gentleman, like he was his own son. Taught him theology, history, and mercy.
What's with these small ones? I don't think they're in the base game. No, they're not any harder to take out, so I'm fine with it.
When the missionary passed away, Zolf promised to continue his work, to bring about a lasting peace between the Ura and Ceylondia. Zolf started teaching the missionaries wisdom to any Ura who would listen. And listen they did.
Oh god, these things. Oh, that's a bad combo. But thankfully I can take it out from range and it won't regen health since I took away that idol.
He advocated tolerance and argued that the Ura should atone for the war. He believed the city had much to teach his people.
I'm sure this one will be pretty tough whenever I invoke all 10 idols.
However, Zolf felt he could only do so much in the Tassel terminals. He needed Caelondia to know the Ura had changed. He decided to do what the missionary did many years before. He left the city of his youth to brave a savage land. The journey was hard, but he knew how to fend for himself. And then at last, Zolf saw the rippling walls on the horizon.
Tucked his arm.
He endeared himself to city folk straight away, and in turn he fell in love with the city and its people. One in particular. This young lady was fascinated by the Ura, but she never met anyone like Zolf. She told him she knew all the city's best-kept secrets.
Don't poison me.
The Hanging Gardens was their favorite spot. It was there that Zolf clasped her hands and proposed in proper Caelondian style. He celebrated with his friends long into the night. Joy and revelry like he'd never seen. Too bad he couldn't remember it all.
I'm assuming that Lunkhead will probably be one of the final bosses, or mixed in with a couple of tougher guys.
He woke up alone underground inside the Ura Caelondian War Memorial, built like an Ura den. But something was wrong.
No healing potions, that's not great.
It's all right.
Oh, come on. Oh, there's more. That's why. Okay, that's one gone. And there we
They
go.
emerged from that hole in the ground into a waking nightmare. What few faces he saw on the street stared back at him with gray and vacant eyes. He found his wife-to-be asleep inside her home, but when he reached out to her, she joined with all the ashes in the sky.
That sucks. Whew.
So Zolf returned to where he proposed in the Hanging Gardens, and there he stood, as if the gods would answer him.
That was a bit closer than I would have liked, but still not too awful.
The kid's gonna be okay. As for that man, who knows?
Okay, so that just leaves one more, so that'll be the singer's dream.
He wolfs down too much too fast, and it all goes to his head.
This will probably have a bunch of those birds and other
I've said a lot
assholes.
about the kid, but he ain't the only one wrapped up in all this.
This will probably have those big plant things.
What's he thinking? Let me see if I got this straight. I only heard it once.
More of these guys, at least there isn't any sort of plant tossing them around. Oops.
Once there was a normal girl, but she wasn't born in the Tassel terminals like the rest of her people. She was from Ceylondia. Her folks were orphaned in the war, taken in and raised inside the city, on condition they would never return to the terminals. Refugees who came into the city had to stay for life. It was a way to reduce the risk of city secrets leaking out. The mama passed away from birth and complications, leaving the girl trapped inside that city with no one but her father.
Not too
Father
bad.
was sharper than a brusher's pike, so he got a job working for the city's mancers. His daughter barely saw him.
Ow. Yeah, I'll have to
The
focus
father
on those
told her
little
nothing of her
pincushion things.
heritage. He told her nothing of the mancers. It's for your own good, he said. She took to studying the arts, learned more through music than history books, gained a knack for strings and songs. classmates spread word that her father was an Ura trader, selling out the city. One young man stood up for her, or so he led her to believe. He knew much of her heritage, and she grew fond of him.
I guess that won't work, so I'll just have to use this brusher's bike.
The young man convinced her to take him to her family den to meet her father. Spoke of how he wanted to meet a man from the terminals. When the young man greeted her father in the Ura's native language, her father flew into a fit of rage and threw them out. The young man never told her that the Ura's native language is not to be used by foreigners. To do so is a terrible insult. It was then that she decided to escape. The two of them could flee the city together and go to the Tassel terminals. They would hide inside a garbage bin until it got ingested by a scumbag, then let him slosh on out of the city for disposal.
Too many ones.
Her plan almost succeeded, but the authorities were already there when that scumbag sidled up to the city walls.
I'm assuming that he betrayed her. And that's what it's making it sound like. The auto lock-on feature kind of sucks in situations like that, where you're trying to reflect a ranged
The young
guy.
man had sent the authorities a tip. Told him her father was using her to sell secrets to the Tassel terminals. She and her father were arrested for treason, but her father got a deal. Return to work for the Mansers, and she'd go free. Before they parted ways for the last time, her father whispered a desperate plea. Hurry home to the den and lock yourself in.
So if I'm understanding correctly, I'm pretty sure that the father was the one Ura who was helping out with the whole Calamity plan. And he did that whole thing that made the Calamity backfire.
She did as she was told, and deep down underground inside that den, she found a journal written in her father's hand.
Oh, that was certainly one ending. I didn't expect it to be the kids' reflections, but I guess I probably should have.
When a kid wakes up, his world's still in pieces, just the way you left it. I don't need to see what happened to the Ura. I'm trying to undo it, remember?
Brusher's Pike. Do I have any? No, but there should be at the Lost and Found. I don't think I have enough money to upgrade it, though. Special shell, turret, no. Pike vault. Yeah, I think I'll go with the Pike vault. That should be a bit more useful in most situations. And that's the Pike. More damage.
Got a solid balance. You've got what you need.
This video's kind of running on, but there's only one thing left to do. I could probably just dedicate a whole video to this last one, but I kind of want to just get it finished up. Because I still got... last episode I was thinking about whether or not I should do the second playthrough, or the New Game Plus, and I don't think I'll record, like, the story, but when I get the extra idols, and whatever else the New Game Plus gives, then I think I might record one extra, or one last episode. I just noticed it said Zelf detected instead of shard detected, since I got all the shards. Since this is the last level, maybe I should... Oh, I have 10 shards, I cannot do anything. But I will turn back on those idols. And let's do it.
I can't hear him at all anymore. He's too far away. But he'll be alright. Just needs to get that shard from Zolf and come on home.
Nope, nothing this way.
The Calamity hit the Tassel terminals hardest of all. No chance anything survived. You know why Zolf went back there. The place was his home. All his old friends and family were there. Taken by the Calamity. Zolf must be there all alone, just waiting. You know what's funny? Well,
Ow.
story is to pass the time, right?
Ow.
Zia, there's another reason I've been telling you all this.
I didn't realize he's been talking to Zia this whole time, but I guess I should have, since he said that I'm too far away to talk, or to hear.
There's something I want you to understand. When the kid brings back that shard, the Bastion will be complete.
No, this is bad.
This disease the Earth planet here will go away.
Have I mentioned that I hate reflecting and those eyeball plant things? Because I do.
Zealandia will be whole again. Everything will be back to normal. Everyone will be all right.
Including all the people I murdered? Because I don't think those guys are coming back.
Problem is, we'll all be gone. But we're not gonna die. It's more like all of this will just stop.
So if we do restore this world back to how it was, I'm assuming that means that the people that we are, like the current us, will be destroyed, removed, and we'll be back as whatever we were before the calamity happened, as completely different people.
Things will go back to the way they used to be. This whole place is a living record of the times before the calamity.
Oh, finally I can jump. Well, assuming that that carries over to New Game Plus, that might actually be nice.
You be your old self again. All those times that didn't go your way.
It's kind of weird that they would wait this long to introduce something like this.
All of life's little setbacks. Imagine if you could have another go at them.
Well, that would be nice, but if we assume that those people would be different than who we are, we wouldn't really know what to do to avoid the mistakes. I guess I should just run since the world's collapsing.
Everything you've ever done, you could do it over. And wouldn't that be grand?
Sounds a bit too good to be true.
Well, I guess there's nothing more to say. Come on, keep your chin up.
I really hate this regenerating and shielding combo.
Who am I kidding?
I'm probably going to keep on repeating that because I really hate it. I just feel like the reflecting thing doesn't require any skill to counter, it's really just luck-based.
Look. There's something else. A confession. You
Ow.
follow me? How come I know so much about the Bastion?
Well, I guess maybe... Well, I think they can reflect you when they're stunned as well, so I don't think that really brings skill into the factor.
Well, I designed the place. But that's beside the point. There's one problem with a place that sets things back to a bygone time. You can't test it.
Am I missing anything? Doesn't seem like it. Seems like you just kind of go forward at this point.
So you're probably wondering if the calamity happened already. What's to stop it from happening again after the Bastion does its thing? The answer is,
There's nothing.
I don't know.
Anything that has happened could happen again.
You're wondering if there ain't some other way out of this mess. It's all right. I can tell. But why would you even want another way? Unless you wanted to stay here with us.
Option B. Can I just... No, I can't just jump around.
That's sweet and all, but I don't know if I can stick around.
battering
The
ram.
weight of the calamity. It's on our shoulders. We can't just let it go.
That's a kind of cool weapon.
Bastion does have another function, strictly speaking. If ever the monument blew out and we couldn't repair it, we could still evacuate. First, we'd round up as many folks as we could carry. Next, we'd detonate the cores, and we'd take off away from here.
Good thing they don't drop any of those grenades when I do that, otherwise I'd be kind of screwed.
Heavy, ain't it? Of course, that would mean no going back. Ever. But then again, that way all of us could leave the city. Together.
Kind of a tricky choice.
You know, Zolf and his countrymen won't be giving up that shard without a fight, don't you? Zolf and the Ura, all they want now is to see the Bastion fall.
What are their
Zolf
plans if it
dedicated
didn't
his
work?
life to a lasting peace between the Ura and Caelondia.
Do they just plan to live on this desiccated husk of a world?
He can't have imagined the city would try to wipe the Ura out. Zolf ain't lost every shred of decency though, has he? He tried to warn you about his plans. Tried to warn you too. For Zolf, this ain't a personal matter.
Now, the defending takes a lot more time in this with this thing.
It ain't a simple matter of pride either.
Well, there's that guy taken care of.
One thing's for sure, the Ura can't be happy that the kid followed Zolf all the way home.
Probably not. I wouldn't be happy. But surely they won't blame him, right? I can't really blame the guy. I mean, we did try to wipe out his race. I want what could be considered the best end, so I'll take Zolf.
I can see it now. The kid in one corner, and Zolf in the other. Ain't much of a fight. Don't you worry, though. Once the Bastion's restored, it'll all be alright. You ain't still thinking about that whole leaving the city thing, are you?
How am I going to survive this?
Kid's probably dealt with Zolf by now.
Don't hurt me.
It reminds me of myself when I was his age. I ever tell you about those days?
I can't tell if that was scripted or not. I'm guessing you probably can't die since you can't fight back or defend yourself.
Hey, kid. Get up, kid. Come on, that ain't funny. I say get up. That's more like it. Now, set that shard into the monument there. Then we'll talk. The Bastion. It's finally finished.
Woohoo!
Now, there's something I want you to see.
This place still looks like shit.
Welcome to the heart of the Bastion. I ain't one for long goodbyes, so here's the deal. Zia and I figure you done the heavy lifting, so you get to do the honors. We can tell you how to work this thing if you got any questions. Hey, kid.
You made it.
Huh. I'm pretty sure that's the only time you actually hear her saying anything.
Any moment I'd want to live again happened after the calamity, not before. When I finally found my people, I told them we could help. They just took me for a traitor. Glad you showed up. Zolf tried to talk me into joining him. I tried to talk him out of it. I guess we both failed. If I could be any place I wanted, I'd stay right here. We could go anywhere in the world.
And just kinda doom civilization and the world as we know it.
So, let's see. You can either prevent the calamity, or stick around with me and Rex. I'd hate to be in your shoes.
But yeah, I guess if I did prevent the calamity, I never would have known these two because I'd have no reason to know them. His mother would still probably be dead, because I think she died from a natural sickness and not from the calamity.
Don't let anything you've done get to you. You can save all those creatures here and now.
I guess that's a way to justify me killing everything that I saw.
One thing left to do, so you hang on to that badge. Besides, you earned it. Zolf only brought more ruin to the Ura. No wonder they didn't take kindly to him. Always wondered what the motherland was like. Not that it matters anymore. You can undo the calamity here and now. Go on, kid. And before I forget, thank you.
So if I remember correctly, evacuation makes her happy and Zulf sad because Zulf lost his wife to the calamity. But like she said, everything that she has enjoyed has happened after the calamity because she didn't really like anyone. Zulf wants his wife back, but she'll just go back to being miserable with her classmates who don't trust her. Repair the world, do what's right, and help Zulf, or evacuate and doom the world. I guess for my canon good ending, I'll go with restoration. Next time I'll do evacuation.
It's finished. Now sit tight. It'll be over soon.
Yeah, next time I'll probably leave Zulf to
No matter
die.
what happens next,
And he won't be depressed.
I suppose all that's left is to try and remember this moment. The Bastion's gonna take us back to a better time before any of this. Might be we'll forget everything you've done and each other. Though after all we've been through, I find that hard to believe. So long, kid. Maybe I'll see it in the next one. Ceylandia, we're coming home.
Well, I guess that's Bastion. Personally, I do kind of enjoy this game more when you're playing it a bit more casually and without all those idols. They do offer some nice challenge, but I more enjoy kind of the aesthetic. And there's Zulf and his wife. And she's sad because she doesn't have any friends, like I was saying. I'm kind of bad with names, so I already forgot her name. And there's the kid, working on the wall. And what about the stranger? Looks like he's working on the monument again. with a squirt. Well, that's probably enough of the credits. I'm not sure if something happens if you wait until after the credits, though. I guess I'll just let them play out. In case you do want to click away from the video at this point, if you haven't already, if you like the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to hear about any upcoming videos. On Thursday, my next video, on Friday, my next video will be coming out, and that'll be the last episode where I record the alternate ending and any other content that might pop up. So I'll probably do those 3 dreams again, and I think there might be a 4th, with all 10 idols, and hopefully not die, and then record this ending, or the other ending, where I sacrifice Zulf or leave him behind, and do the evacuate instead of the repair. But yeah, overall, fun game. Better as casual game, in my opinion, like I was saying. It's got a pretty nice story. The ending kind of made me emotional. And I suppose I'm not super surprised that this was made by Supergiant Games. I haven't played Hades, but I can kind of see the similarities between the two. Mostly because it's isometric with the whole clicking, pointing thing. And I'm not sure what series is actually going to replace this once I'm done. I could do Hades, but I'm not super into those types of games. I guess whatever it is will be a bit of a surprise for you guys. Okay, new game plus, all your weapons and XP, new shrine idols and distillery, all Bastion structures buildable in any order, and use the shrine. So, if you don't stick around for the next episode, or if you don't check it out, I hope you enjoyed my playthrough of Bastion. Yada yada, all my plugs, like, subscribe, blah blah blah. Have a good one.